Consider this. I'm giving you the prerequisites before we go into actual mesh analysis. Fine. Let's again consider this particular circuit diagram. Everybody copy down this. Okay, this is a circuit diagram. Fine. Let's say this is 5 volts. This is 10 volts. Okay. 1 ohm, 2 ohms, and 3 ohms. Fine. Now understand this. Earlier we had marked. Let me take this again. Okay, I'll be needing this. Everybody understand this. Yeah, let me do this again. So this is 1 ohm and this is 2 ohms. Fine. Okay. Let me take the same circuit diagram again. Let's cut. I'll put that here. And I'll again put the same here. Now I've taken the same circuit. What is that I'm trying to give you is, see here, when we saw KVL and KCL in particular, we were talking about these currents. So this is I1, then I said this is I2 and said this is I3. Okay with this? Now this I1, I2, I3 are called branch currents. Everybody understand this? They're called branch currents. Now in mesh analysis, we need to be thinking of the mesh currents. Understand that? We need to think of the mesh current. So here, see here, how many meshes you have got, we need to understand first in mesh analysis. See, this is one loop. The outermost closed path is one loop. Fine. The innermost closed path you have, this closed path and this closed path. So these two are called meshes. Understand that? So this is, let's say, let me call this as mesh 1 and this as mesh 2. Okay. The current that flow in meshes, understand this everybody. We have the same circuit. So this is mesh 1 and this is mesh 2. Everybody understand that, right? Now see here what I'm doing. See the current that I'm trying to plot. Yeah. So this is say IA and this is IB. Everybody understand this? So this IA and IB, IA, IB are mesh currents. Everybody understand this point? Here, I1, I2, I3 are called as branch currents because I1 is flowing in this branch where 5 volts and 1 ohm is connected. I3 is flowing in the branch where 3 ohms is connected. I2 is flowing in the branch where 2 ohm and 10 volts are connected. So they are branch currents. Now in mesh analysis, we have to be marking the mesh currents. So before we mark the mesh currents, we need to understand how many meshes are there. Okay, how many meshes are there in this particular circuit? This is mesh 1. Let's always consider this as mesh 1 and this is mesh 2. And the current, the first current that we plot, Okay, suppose this is not given. How to understand which is mesh 1 and mesh 2? Wherever I mark my first current, okay, that is my first mesh. Wherever I mark my second current, that is my second mesh. That is how I'll be referring to. Everybody understand that? Okay, because when I apply KVL to some mesh, I should say I'm applying this KVL to this particular mesh. So how to number the mesh? You should number the mesh seeing the current that is flowing there. So among these two, this is the first current. Among IA and IB, this IA is the first current. So obviously wherever IA is flowing, that is referred to as mesh 1, where IB is flowing, that is referred to as mesh 2. Suppose there is another mesh here. Okay, so then there I'll mark IC, the third current. So that would be my third mesh. And there is no rule that only this has to be IA, this has to be IB. You can interchange this. Absolutely fine. Okay, but let's all follow the same rule. Let's try go in this form only. Mesh currents. Now, why is this mesh analysis important? We have to see now. Okay, why is this mesh analysis important? Fine. Why mesh analysis? Why mesh analysis? Understand this. Mesh analysis is used to find mesh currents. Everybody understand this? Why do we use mesh analysis? Mesh analysis is used to find out the mesh currents. If there are two meshes, we have to mark two mesh currents. Okay, then we have to find those mesh currents. How? By applying the KVL. That part will do. Now, what I'm trying to give you is the necessity of mesh analysis and how that mesh analysis in turn helps us find out this I1, I2, I3 is the question. Okay, so once you have mesh currents here with you, once you have mesh currents here, you have mesh currents here, right? So why mesh analysis is important? Because we have to find mesh currents. Now suppose branch currents are asked to be found out by suppose branch currents and branch voltages are asked to be found out by mesh analysis. Everybody understand this? Okay, now what they're asking is, suppose they ask us to find out the branch currents and branch voltages. See here we have marked branch currents, right? Suppose they ask us to find I1, I2, I3 by mesh analysis. So there is no way we can find out I1, I2, I3 directly in mesh analysis. In mesh analysis, whatever they ask, the very first thing that we do is finding out the mesh currents, though they are not asked. Get this point? So we find out the mesh currents first, then these branch currents and branch voltages are expressed in terms of the mesh currents. Okay, so let's take the same circuit diagram here again. Fine. Now just understand this, everybody. Okay, now here is one current. Let's say there is a current I2 flowing and there is current I3 flowing. Get this point? Now let's say we have a voltage V1 like this, fine, and a voltage V3 which is there in this. Let me just write it in different way. Okay, here is your I3 flowing, this is I3, and they have this V3 here. So what they would ask is, everybody just observe here in this problem, in this example, they'll say find I2, I3, V1, V3 by mesh analysis. I1 and this I2 and I3 are not mesh currents, mind you. How the mesh currents look? The mesh currents look like this. See here, the mesh currents look like this. They have not asked us to find out mesh currents, okay, but they have asked us to find out the branch currents and branch voltages. But by mesh analysis, soon after they say by mesh analysis, the very first thing that we do is marking the mesh currents. Everybody is okay with that? So in the solution, what we need to do is step one, in the solution first, you need to count the number of meshes. Count the number of meshes. Okay, after counting that, mark the mesh currents. Okay, after marking, what you would do? You would find mesh currents. After you mark, you find mesh currents by applying KVL. Is this okay with you? Now, here, then express, then find, the branch currents and voltages in terms of mesh currents. So everybody should understand it. So these are the 4 points that everyone should understand. Okay, Spurti has raised the hand. Spurti, you can unmute and you can ask if you have anything to ask. Spurti, go on. Spurti, you have anything to ask? Okay, if you have anything to ask, you can unmute and you can ask me. You can talk in between, okay, with me, not a problem. Suppose if you're not understanding something. Fine. Now see here, how many number of meshes are there? How many number of meshes are there? Anybody? See, there are 2 meshes. This is mesh number 1. This is mesh number 2. There are 2 meshes. We have to mark the mesh currents now. How many mesh currents will be marking? I'll be marking 2 meshes. If there are 2 meshes, okay, I'll be marking 2 mesh currents. See here, I'll just do this. See here, how many mesh currents? Yeah, there are 2 meshes. Okay, so 2 meshes with 2 currents have to be marking. So let's mark IA, IB. So we have to apply KVL at mesh 1 and mesh 2 to find out IA and IB. Then find branch currents and branch voltages in terms of currents, in terms of mesh currents. Okay, so let me mark my mesh currents here. So I'll write down the circuit diagram little bigger. Okay, let me go back. Here, I write it little bigger. Everybody should follow this. Okay, very important. If you understand, it is easy also. I'm writing it a little bigger so that I can show you all voltages and currents flowing properly. I hope everybody's copying this. Fine. Now, what was this? 10 volts or 5 volts? Let me see the values once. 5 volts, 10 volts, 1, 2, 3. So this is 5 volts, 10 volts. Okay. This is 1 ohm, 2 ohms, 3 ohms. Okay. I'm asking you to find out I2, I3. Okay. Then B1. Let me write that properly. This is 1 ohm, mind you. This is 1 ohm. B1 plus minus, V3 plus minus. So this is how it is. So very first thing that they're asking us to do is, okay, to find the mesh currents. Everybody should concentrate here. Everybody should concentrate. Okay. Yeah. Now see, what we are doing is this. We are marking the mesh currents, mind you. See, this is mesh current IA and this is mesh current IB. Fine. Now, everybody see here how to apply KVL. How to apply KVL to mesh. Fine. Yeah. Come here. Yeah. Now let's apply KVL to mesh 1. Why we are applying KVL to mesh 1? To find out IA. Okay. Now see here, everybody. Now everybody just concentrate here. I'm moving in this direction, and when I'm looking at the mesh currents, you're not supposed to look at these voltages. I2, I3, V1, V3 is there, right? So you're not taking them into consideration now. In mesh analysis, I'll be writing my equation only in terms of the mesh currents, not in terms of the branch currents or in terms of the branch voltages. Mind you, again and again, I'm telling you, when we are writing the KVL in mesh analysis, okay, we write all the KVLs only in terms of IA and IB, okay, and not in terms of any voltages or branch currents. Get this? So everybody should see this. Okay, I start from this point. Okay, so see, when I'm moving in clockwise direction, I'm coming across this minus sign, right? So in KVL, I'll attach minus sign to this 5. Now what is the voltage here? You should not say plus V1, but I have to write this plus V1 in terms of the mesh current. So how to do that? How to do that? See here, I should write plus 1 IA. Is everybody okay with this? This is minus 5, okay, and this is plus 1 IA because mesh current IA is flowing through this. Fine. Now, in this 1 ohm, there was just one mesh current flowing. Everybody, this is very important. Through this 1 ohm, there is just one mesh current flowing. Through these 3 ohms, how many mesh currents are flowing? I3 is branch current, I2 is branch current. Let's not talk about these now. We are asked to find out I1 and I1, I2, sorry, I2, I3, V3, V1. Let's not talk about them. We have to talk only in terms of mesh currents till we find mesh currents. Once we have mesh currents in hand, then we shall bother about that later. Okay. Now, observe, through 1 ohm only IA is flowing, so it is 1 IA. But through 3 ohms, is it only IA flowing is the question. Observe that, everybody. Through these 3 ohms, is it only IA flowing? No. IA is flowing, yes. IA is flowing, but it's not only IA flowing. Okay, there is IB also flowing through this. But if you see the direction of the currents that is flowing through 3 ohms, IA is flowing downwards, whereas IB is flowing upwards. And in which mesh I'm operating? I'm operating in mesh 1. See, I'm operating in mesh 1. When I'm operating in mesh 1, IA is moving downwards through this 3 ohms and IB is moving upwards through this 3 ohms. So what would be the voltage across 3 ohms because of IA, IB flowing there? Is this plus, yeah, it's plus 3 into IA, which is flowing downwards, minus IB, which is flowing upwards. Why didn't we take IB minus IA? Because I'm in mesh 1. See here, in mesh 1, the direction that I'm moving is in clockwise direction. The direction I'm moving is in clockwise direction. Okay, since I'm moving in clockwise direction, I'll be taking IA positive because IA is also moving in the same direction, but IB is moving in the opposite direction through 3 ohms. That's why it's IA minus IB. Everybody okay with that? Fine. Now bring this to the standard form. What is standard form? See here. Yeah. Bring this to the standard form. What standard form I'm talking about? How many IAs are there? There are 4 IAs. Fine. How many IBs are there? There are 3 IB. Okay, and the voltage is there. Shift this voltage onto right hand. They're all voltages, mind you. -5 is an voltage. 1 IA is an voltage. 3 into IA minus IB is an voltage because it is IR, right? So RIR I have written. So this is the voltage, this is the voltage, this is the voltage. So they're all voltages. So algebraic sum of all these voltages should give you 0. Fine. So after writing the KVL, I'm grouping the currents and I'm grouping the voltages in terms of currents like this. How many IAs are there? This is 1 IA, this is 3 IA. So you have 4 IA. And you have 3 here and minus. So it's minus 3 IB is equal to 5. And watch this equation. Watch this equation. When I'm operating in mesh 1, see, when I'm operating in mesh 1, okay, IA comes positive, IB comes negative. Is this okay with everybody? IA comes positive in this equation and IB would be negative. Okay, the rule is when I'm operating in mesh 1, IA is always positive. When I'm operating in mesh 2, IB is always positive. Okay, now can you do the same with mesh 2? Everybody, KVL to mesh 2. Take that, everybody. KVL to mesh 2. Can you do it now yourself? Start from 3 ohms. Start from 3 ohms. Now we are operating in second mesh. Okay, mesh 2 we are operating in. Through 3 ohms there are 2 currents flowing. IA and IB are flowing. Okay, so see, in mesh 2 we are moving in upwards direction through 3 ohms, whereas IA is moving downward. So what is the voltage drop across 3 ohms when I'm operating in mesh 2? See here, everybody, it is 3 into 3. Maybe I'll take a thicker one. Yeah, 3 into IB minus IA now. Why I'm operating in mesh 2? That is why it is IB minus IA plus 2 IB. I should not write 2 I2. No, I have to write all my equations only in terms of the mesh current. So it is 2 IB. Then comes this voltage. Okay, what is that? It is having minus sign when I'm approaching. So it is 10 volts equal to 0. Now why didn't I associate a current with this 10? Why didn't I associate current with this 10 means that 10 itself is a voltage. Everybody understand that? This 10 itself is a voltage. So again, 10 into current I'll not do. Voltage into current I don't do. Okay, so it would become power. But in KVL, we have to be writing all voltages, mind you. This is the voltage, this is the voltage, this is the voltage. Okay. So algebraic sum of all these voltages should give you 0 is what you should understand. Is that okay with you? Now bring this to the standard form. Bring this to the standard form. How to bring this? How many IAs are there now? Okay. So it is minus 3IA. Okay. Plus 5IB. Minus 3IA plus 3IB plus 2IB. It would become plus 5IB equal to 10. Okay. So the previous equation we have got in standard form, call it as equation 1, and this equation that we've got in standard form, call this as equation 2. Now you have two equations, 1, 2. Okay, you have two equations, 1 and 2. Fine. Suraj, you have any questions? Okay, see here. Two equations, two unknowns. Unknowns are IA and IB. How to find out these unknowns? Okay, to find out these unknowns, we need to use the calculator. Understand this? We need to use the calculator. Just a sec. I'm getting it. Yeah. How to find? You have calculators in front of you, everybody. You have calculators in front of you. Okay, after you use your calculators to find out IA and IB, okay, we have seen that solving that by calculators. We have found out 5 amps and 5 amps. And what is that we have found out? We have found out IA and IB, and there are mesh currents, mind you. There are mesh currents. Now, they are not something that they've asked us to find out. What is that they've asked us to find out? See here, everybody. Okay, they've asked us to find out I2, I3, V1 and V3. See, I2, I3, V1 and V3 by mesh analysis. Okay, so how to do that? Now, since we have mesh currents in our hand, okay, we need to express the branch currents and branch voltages in terms of the mesh currents. Now, everybody just concentrate here. So we need to see what is I2 now in terms of mesh currents. We have already obtained IA and IB. We need to obtain the mesh currents. So how to do that in terms of mesh current? I2 is flowing through which resistor? I2 is flowing through 2 ohms. Okay, and which mesh current is flowing through 2 ohms? Which mesh current is flowing through 2 ohms? That's IB. So I2 is IB actually. So this I2 is IB. So this is how we express the branch current I2 in terms of the mesh current. Why it is IB? Through 2 ohms I2 is flowing. So you can ask yourself, which mesh current is flowing through 2 ohms in this direction? It's IB. So I2 is IB. Suppose I2 is flowing in this direction. It's going from right to left like this. Okay, then I2 would become minus IB, because IB would be flowing in this direction, I2 would be flowing in this direction, so I2 would be minus IB. But since here through 2 ohms both I2 and IB are flowing in the same direction, I2 is taken as IB. Okay, now let's see I3. What is I3? Now through 2 ohms there was just one IB, one mesh current flowing. So I2 is IB. But see here, I3, where it is flowing through 3 ohms. But through 3 ohms, it's not only one mesh current. It's not only IA flowing or IB flowing. Both IA and IB are flowing. Is everybody okay with that? Now, when both IA and IB are flowing through 3 ohms, I3 has to be expressed in terms of both IA and IB. So how to do that is the question. Now see here, I3 is flowing downwards through 3 ohms. Which among IA and IB is flowing downwards? See here, IA is moving like this. So IA is moving downwards through 3 ohms. Okay. IB is moving upwards through 3 ohms. So that means which mesh current is moving in the direction of I3? IA is moving in the direction of I3 and IB is moving opposite to the direction of flow of I3. So what would I write I3 as in terms of mesh current? I would write that as IA because it is flowing in the direction of I3 minus IB because IB is flowing opposite to the direction of flow of I3. Is it okay with you? This is how we express our branch currents in terms of mesh currents. Now, they have also asked us to find out what V1. See here is V1, right? Now, what is voltage? Voltage is current into resistance. So which current is flowing through V1? See here, which current is flowing through 1 ohm? V1 is the voltage that is there across 1 ohm. Okay, so what is voltage? Voltage is I into R, which IA is I and R is 1 ohm. So what would that be? So it would be V1 would be IA into 1 ohm would give you V1. And why this has to be positive? See, IA is V1 into 1 IA is sorry V1 is IA into 1 ohm because IA is approaching positive sign. If IA is approaching negative sign, I would attach a negative sign here. Understand that since IA is approaching positive sign, okay, V1 is plus IA into 1 ohm. So that is what we have written here. Similarly, if you come to V3, Similarly, if you come to V3, V3 is the voltage that is dropping across 3 ohms. And mind you, through 3 ohms, there are 2 mesh currents flowing. So you have to be expressing this V3 in terms of the 2 mesh currents. Anybody would like to do that? Here, V3. Okay. 3 ohm is something that we know. It's 3 into, see here, IA is approaching positive sign of V3. So IA is positive and IB is approaching negative sign of V3. So IB is negative. So it is 3 into IA minus IB. Everybody okay with that? It's 3 into IA minus IB. Why it's IA minus IB, not IB minus IA? Because see, IA is approaching the positive sign, so it's plus IA. IB is approaching the negative sign, so it is minus IB. So IA minus IB is the current into the resistance would give you the voltage V3. So this is how we express the branch currents and the branch voltages in terms of the mesh currents. In mesh analysis, we have to find out mesh currents first. Okay, and after we find out the mesh currents, the branch currents and branch voltages are expressed in terms of mesh currents to find out the currents and the voltages asked. Okay, see here, that is what we've done. So this is how we have expressed. Okay, since I2 is IB, it is 5 ampere. Since IA and IB are same, okay, I3 which is equal to IA and my IA minus IB would become 0 amperes, and V1 is IA into 1 ohm. So it is 1 into IA, 1 into 5 amperes. It would be 5 volts. And what is our V3? V3 is 3 into IA minus IB. IA minus IB is 0. Okay, so it's 3 into 0, so it would become 0 volts. Everybody is okay with that? Now, what is that we have done? We have counted the number of meshes. Okay, so there are 2 meshes. We have marked the mesh currents. Okay, and we have found the mesh currents and we have expressed So first we find out the mesh currents. Okay. Then whatever is asked is expressed in terms of the mesh currents. Okay. To get the results. Is everybody okay with this? Fine.